I've been at Fabrica for the past 9 months. I've been trying to read these stories for about 3 months now. The last time I read out to Fabrica, I've been accused of crying. This is not the case. I simply had I had some dirt in my eyeball, a few flies. And then I had a bad phlegmy throat that day, so it made it fairly difficult to speak. But today I feel less emotional and less new. I guess I could say that this is something I've been working on for the past maybe 4 months. Back when Sarah was here, she encouraged me to continue with this. I gave her everything I had written in the year, and she liked this the most. And so, yeah, I kept writing a bunch of little short stories. Anyway, I'm going to begin. All right. Shtoriesh. How to write ineffective stories. First story is called Duck. I feel like a duck quite often, and I'll tell you why. I feel like I should be writing all the time, but I'm unable to pick up a pen. And then instead, I float around and eat some little snacks and make funny noises, and then sleep with my neck bent in a funny position. The end. Oh. Gnats are assholes. This is not related to this picture. When I was snooping through my girlfriend's drawer, I found a mixed CD full of love songs. It said, "From Matt," but it wasn't from me. She never mentioned any Matt in our time together, and now I hate everyone named Matt except for myself, because I'm quite nice. The end. My doctor sounds like my physical education teacher. My legs have been hurting me ever since I was 5. Everyone said, "It's growing pains, honey. It'll end." And then they stopped saying that because I turned 24. At the doctor's office, he made me do some squats, and then he gave me a prognosis, which I've heard many times before. You're weak. The end. The next story is titled Injured. Directly after I had my dick sucked for the first time, that girl laid her head beside mine, stared at my face, and asked when I had broken my nose. I said last year, but I've never broken my nose. The end. This is Levi, up here. The first time I saw a dog's erection, I thought he had a worm coming out of his penis. It really scared me because it was my dog and I loved him. The end. Fluffo, dear Fluffo. Before I left home to move abroad, my dad told me that he'd kill my 18-year-old cat while I was away. Because Fluffo and my parents live on a farm, my dad will just shoot him in the head with a shotgun instead of taking him to the vet. The end. This is a story called Awkwardness. My cat is 18 years old. He's always been a good cat, and we're friends. But once I saw him getting fucked by another cat, and I couldn't hang out with him for a while. The end. Boner pants. I had a boner in social studies class, and I sat in the front row. My penis was caught on the side of my leg, but then it slipped and sprung upward. Upon hitting my baggy pants, it made an audible whap sound, and the teacher looked in my direction. The end. Let down. My car broke down, and I called my dad for help. He told me it was my radiator, and I said, "Okay, thanks." The end. No answer. An acquaintance of mine once told me that if you use someone's name while talking to them, then that person becomes a bit more attracted to you. I asked her if that was true, Joanna. The end. Harmony. I sing out loud a lot, and my mom tries to harmonize with me, but she can't because I stop singing when that happens. The end. Afternoon delight. My mother drove me to school. A song came on the radio. It was called Afternoon Delight. I asked her if it was a song about pudding, and my mother said, I think it's about having intercourse in the afternoon. I hate that song so much. The end. On canoes. My first fight was on top of a beached canoe. I was 6 and he was 6, and I started to cry because a crowd had gathered. I didn't want them to see me lose. The end. Holidays. If you're away from her, don't text your girlfriend happy holidays, no matter what holiday it is, no matter how sincere you are. This story is titled, Thanks, I'm Sorry. I like to talk after having sex. The end. First kiss. My first kiss was terrible. Not enough experience. Second kiss. My second kiss was terrible. Too much confidence. Good boy. I never got in trouble as a kid, so when I did, it was very scary for me, and I would cry if I got sent out of class and into the hallway. The end. Nobody has ever understood me. In grade 5, I got kicked out of French class with another boy and a girl because we weren't paying attention. I started to cry in the hallway and they asked me, what's wrong? I said, I pooped my pants. And because they had no concept of sarcasm, I had more things to be embarrassed about than just crying. This one is called Nan. My great-grandmother slapped me across the face once. I was trying to clear the table on my own, and she didn't like that, but it's okay. She's dead now. The end. Subtext. At your sister's wedding, everyone's dancing except for you and your girlfriend because she said, no, I'm tired. What she meant by that is, I don't love you enough to marry you. The end. Mantra. Just because a girl feels awkward around you doesn't mean she likes you. The end. Surprise. I surprised my girlfriend by buying us tickets to the coast. She paid $100 to change her return date 2 days ahead of schedule. The end. Milkshake girl. On the trip to the coast, I spent 2 days alone walking around the city. I looked through lots of windows, and in a small cafe, there was a very pretty girl who had short hair and tight jeans and a button-up shirt. She served people and didn't bother to smile. I went inside and ordered a key lime milkshake from her. I watched her sweep the floor, and we exchanged a few words. I couldn't finish my milkshake, so I took it with me to my hotel room and slept. The end. Sex scenes. Don't watch movies with your mother. And if you do, sit very far away from her, and don't look at her, and don't make swallowing noises, or say anything unless it's, are you thirsty? I'm gonna get a drink. The end. Horrible realization. You say, fuck, when you realize you're trying to make a living as a writer. The end. Gifts for girls. It's good to give your girlfriend lots of nice gifts because the next boyfriend will feel a bit uncomfortable and jealous when he's in her room. The end. This one's titled, Yes, I Think So. When your girlfriend asks if your penis is the normal size, Answer honestly, and then hold all your rage inside. The end. This one is called, when your girlfriend of 3 years asks you if you know where the clitoris is, answer her honestly and let her take your hand and hold all your rage inside. The end. Motherly advice. My mother told me not to smile in preschool photos because I had yellow teeth. The end. You're a man now. Kiss your mom goodnight and tell your father, I think I'm going to stop kissing you goodnight. The end. Direct relation. I collected Mickey Mouse stuff from the age of 6 and stopped just after I turned 20. I lost my virginity at 21. Of mice and men. I showed my second ever girlfriend Sonia my Mickey Mouse collection, and her excuse for breaking up with me was that you're not manly enough. The end. Now who's laughing? I ran into Sonia 6 years after she broke up with me, and she asked, do you still like Mickey Mouse? And I said, I've got nothing against him. She had a really horrible haircut. The end. It felt horrible. For her birthday, I bought ballroom dance lessons for us. And in every lesson, she told me what I did wrong. On the last lesson, I punched her in the stomach. It felt horrible. The end. Hot summer nights. One time we were sitting around the campfire and my mom spilled hot chocolate on my friend Tom's crotch. My mom can be really funny sometimes. The end. First impressions of masturbation. My soul is forsaken, and Grandma, Grandpa, I'm sorry if I'm ruining your time in heaven. The end. Latter impressions of masturbation. The end. Sorry. Tender nips. I had tender nipples and could feel there was a hard lump behind them. When I explained it to my mother, she felt my nipples and said, don't worry, that happened to me when I went through puberty. And I said, Mom! And wanted to run away from her. The end. Awkward situations overruled cancer. I developed a very large mole close to my penis in junior high. I was scared, but I didn't want to show my parents because my pubic hair was growing in. So I left it and thought God meant for me to have cancer. The end. Try to keep your options open, and if you can take revenge in the process, then all the better. I tell my ex-girlfriend that I'm still in love with her, even when I'm certain that I'm not. The end. Google. Type your old girlfriend's names in the Google search bar and try very hard to act like you're not pathetic. The end. The fat kid. I kissed another girl when I was dating my first long-term girlfriend. It was outside of my cousin's wedding, along the riverbank, in a city 4 hours away from my town, and she swirled her tongue around my mouth like clothes inside the washing machine. There was a fat kid watching us from far away, and I knew he would find some way to tell Karen. The end. Hell. After graduating from film school, I worked in a dry ice factory. I packaged dry ice. The end. The people you meet in hell. I showed the new guy how to package dry ice efficiently. One of the first things he said to me was that he loves his girlfriend's rack. But even if she didn't have big tits, that's okay because he's actually an ass man. Then he told me that his pants caught on fire when he sat in a bathtub being pulled behind a truck. The end. Professional photographers are disgusting. My girlfriend worked at a flower shop, and a professional photographer went in there and asked my girlfriend if he could take photos of her. She said yes, and when I asked her what she was going to do with those photos, she said, "They'll just be nice to keep for memories." And I told her that I could take her photo. The end. My girlfriend. Before I left for Italy, my girlfriend gave me a picture she had taken from a professional photographer. My girlfriend cropped her chest out, and I asked my girlfriend why she did that. My girlfriend said the picture focused too much on her boobs. I clenched my jaw and took that boob strip from the tabletop and stuck it in my wallet, where it remains today, long after we broke up. The end. Liar. I visited my grandmother in her nursing home, and it stunk in there, and when I'd leave, she'd ask, "Are you sure you have to go?" And I'd say, "Yes, I better go." The end. Winifred. My grandma had hiccups, and I told her a big spoonful of peanut butter will cure that. I prepared it for her, and it was funny to see her chew that at first, but then she started to choke, and I said, "Grandma, I think you should stop." And she said, "No," and finished the peanut butter on that spoon. The end. How babies are not made. Throw those stuck together socks under your bed. The end. Alone. If you've got nobody and your feet are cold, plug in the hairdryer and turn it on and point it at your feet. The end. Back. The best way to communicate your desire for sex is to, while lying in bed, gently poke her in the back with your boner. The end. The last kiss. My last kiss was completely underappreciated. The end. Pet peeve. Dedicated to Zoe, who I can't stop thinking about. I can't fucking stand it when people obsessively pine over their ex-boyfriend or girlfriend long after they've broken up. The end. And this is the last one for the evening, called Shit Writing. My friend Pia told me that I write really nice stories and that they'd be really good to read on the toilet. The end. And that is all. So if you guys, I wrote about 200 of these and put them together in a book. If you guys would like to read them, I'd be happy to pass them on to you.